welcome back to my channel. So it's time for my monthly rundown of the new perfume releases of this month, September 2023. Brands are getting ready for Christmas, bringing out all their new releases, and I have loads to go through with you today. If you're new here, then hello and welcome. I'm all about perfumes. I do a video like this every month, so do check them out along with my hundreds, well over 1,000 now, other videos on perfume ranges, perfume notes, new releases. And do check out my blog as well, SokiLondon.com, where I have detailed articles on whole ranges and where you can also get my fragrances, Empress, Aphrodite, and my super concentrated soy wax candles. And as always guys, links will be in the description box to where you can get all these perfumes all around the world. Cool, so where to start? So I think I'll start with the new Ariana Grande Cloud Pink. Very hotly anticipated. Cloud is a worldwide best-selling perfume, probably the most successful celebrity perfume at the moment. It smells quite similar to Maison Francis Cote de Jean Baccarat Rouge 540, the perfume with the longest name ever. It's creamy, praline, marshmallow, coconut, intense, and it lasts really well, and it's great value for money for the price point. So lots of excitement for this new pink version, and just like normal Cloud, it's a bottle that comes in this cloud. So this perfume smells quite similar to original Cloud, especially when I first sprayed it. I thought it smelled exactly the same. However, as it develops, it starts revealing some fruity top notes. You've got a little bit of pineapple, you've got berries, even a dragon fruit in here. And as it develops, you do definitely get these sweet fruity notes. There's also a bit of a vanilla orchid, which adds a little bit of femininity, but that Cloud DNA is very much still there, that sense of the original sort of praline, musky sweetness. So if you like original Cloud or Cloud Intense, I think you'll like this new pink Cloud. It's not dramatically different, and I still prefer the original Cloud to this. I found on this, the top notes, the berry notes, were a little bit sickly sweet, kind of reminded me like mixing Cloud with Midnight Fantasy from Britney Spears, but altogether it was just kind of a little bit too much for me, and I think Cloud is more sophisticated. But I do love the pink. I like this bottle the best, and I'm sure it will do really well. Her gift sets always sell out way before Christmas. So next up we have a new one from Gucci in their Gucci Flora range. This is called Gorgeous Magnolia. This is the third version of these Gucci Flora bottles that come like this. You might remember the old Gucci Flora, which was in a totally different bottle, like a hexagon. I love that perfume. I'm hoping to create something quite similar next year with my third release, so watch out for that next year. But these new ones are sweeter and lighter than the original Floras. So Magnolia is quite a light scent to begin with, and in this one, you definitely get the Magnolia. It opens with a slightly fruity note from a dewberry, and then you get this floral bouquet of magnolia. I also really get jasmine, and then it has a woody patchouli base, but that really isn't noticeable. The bottom notes in here, the base notes, aren't really that noticeable for me. I really get the heart, the floral magnolia jasmine, and the dewberry top note. It's pretty, it's innocent, it's good for everyday wear. It's an eau de parfum, but I find it didn't perform very well. So in terms of value for money, I'm not sure this is really Soki approved, though I do think the bottle is super cute. It's my favorite color, sort of Empress purple, and I think this will be nice for if you like your fresh everyday fruity florals, perhaps a young girl. You could wear this to school, college, every day, but it's nothing really new, and I just miss the old Gucci Flora basically. So next up we have a new one from Jean Paul Gaultier. It's their new Gaultier Divine. Lots of excitement about this. Gaultier perfumes tend to be vanilla-y sweet, but this one's quite different. Comes in the iconic classique female body shape, and we have the sort of Madonna corset going on with the pointy boobs. But despite all this bling and gold and quite a strong looking bottle, the scent is actually relatively delicate. This is a real lily bouquet along with ylang ylang. So it's floral, it's kind of musky, powdery floral. But what it also has is a top note, which is a sort of aquatic watermelon, like a sea breeze watermelon, which is a synthetic creation made by Givaudan, who create the Jean Paul Gaultier fragrances now. And it's quite unique and it gives you this freshness to the whole fragrance. It lasts throughout the top, middle and base. And the watermelon is there at first and then it kind of fades a bit. It really reminds me of the limited edition Jean Paul Gaultier La Belle Fleur Terrible, the turquoise one, which was also like a water lily. Again, this has got that aquatic lily feel to it, but as it dries down, becomes quite a musky lily and ylang ylang. So if you like ylang ylang or lily, I think you'll like this. It's not an intense perfume, it's not super strong. It's an eau de parfum, but I found the projection wasn't like massive. It stayed quite close to the skin, so definitely everyday, spring, maybe autumn perfume. Again, you could wear this to the office like during the day. But I'm sure lots of people will love it for the bottles. I know people do collect the Jean Paul Gaultier bottles. So we have 4 new perfumes from the Kayali fragrance brand, all themed around oud. These have literally just come out. We've got a rose oud, which really is a rosy geranium floral oud. Vanilla oud, which is probably my favorite, which is, for me, this is a vanilla first and then an oud. The oud was relatively subtle in this. You can still smell it, but you really get the sweet vanilla. You've got cafe oud, which is like a cappuccino coffee with oud. I think this will be the most popular. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Black Opium without the lighter notes in. Very intense. These are all very unisex. And then we have tobacco oud, which I think is quite masculine. It's that leafy tobacco note, smoky, almost like standing near a burning fire. Really brings out that element of the oud note. So they're all quite intense. They're exclusive to Harrods at the moment. I'll leave links to where you can get them. And the range is called Oudgasm. Yeah, if you're a lover of oud, I definitely think you've got 4 different ones to experiment with there. And they're also doing like burners for the home, and they come in little 10ml sizes as well. So I think this is definitely an ode and tribute to the world of oud. 4 at once was super surprising. So any lovers of oud, I think these are £115 for the 50ml, but sometimes with oud you can be paying £200-300. So considering the depth, like they're all eau de parfum intense, if you love oud, I definitely think you should try them. We have 2 new perfumes from DKNY. Be Tempted Oh So Blush, a floral bouquet, pretty, everyday, classic, fresh floral. And then we also have this new DKNY Be Delicious Orchard Street, which is my favorite. This is apple and raspberry with a jasmine. And at first, I really get the apple raspberry combination. It's really fruity, addictive, but I found as this faded, the jasmine really came into its own and it felt a bit sandalwoody, and I found it lasted on me pretty well. So if you like your fruity perfumes but you find they often don't last, I think this one is really good for lasting for fruity perfume fans like me. I would definitely layer this with my Empress to bring out the strawberry note. Yeah, it's just something very addictive, like a Moorish quality. You just want to keep smelling it. And I do think the bright pink bottle is cute as well. Another new release that I've been absolutely loving is the new Dolce & Gabbana Devotion perfume. This is a vanilla base with orange blossom and a candied orange, candied lemon top note, which for me is just so addictive. I'm loving this. I'm actually going to Sicily next week, like the sort of spiritual home of Dolce & Gabbana, so I'll definitely be taking this with me. It reminds me of Parfum de Marly Ariana. It reminds me of the old Dolce & Gabbana Parfum, that combination of orange blossom, orangey notes, but with that warm, sweet vanilla underneath. And I love a candied fruit, candied orange, candied lemon. I love that sugariness added to the zestiness. I find just really, really like delicious. This is probably my favorite release of all of these for the month of September personally, and it's probably one of my favorite releases of the year as well. I had actually planned in the future to make a perfume like this, but Dolce & Gabbana have beaten me to it. I just love it. If you love orange blossom, it's like a sweet Elie Saab, a sweet orange blossom. Really love this. And I found it, you can still smell it on yourself. It's an eau de parfum, but it's not super intense, so it'd be okay in warmer climates. We have a new perfume from Solda Janeiro in their Body Mist range. I think this is limited edition and it's called After Hours. Now, this is a really jasmine-y perfume that really reminds me of Flower Bomb Bomb from Victor & Rolf. They've used that same night blooming jasmine note. We have patchouli and vanilla, and it just smells like Flower Bomb to me. So if you love Flower Bomb, this is a cheap way to layer your fragrance, because these are only about £20. These, like a lot of these perfumes, are available at Look Fantastic, where you can get 21% off using my code LFTF Soki. I'll put all the details down below. But very different to what we've seen from Solda Janeiro, which are usually fruity or very like vanilla-y perfumes. This is more floral, patchouli, jasmine. Really just reminds me of Flower Bomb, you guys. We have a new perfume from Furler, the Italian leather goods brand. This is a salty vanilla fragrance. So it reminds me of a fresher take of Paco Rabanne Olympia. They're quite good value. They start at about 30 something pounds. And it has a hint of black pepper in the opening note, which I don't normally like, but here I do really like it because it adds like a fresh, like a hit to the top note, which is refreshing. And if sometimes vanilla can be so sweet and overpowering, whereas here it's got a freshness to it, and the saltiness really lifts the vanilla as well. I think this is interesting, it's different, and you could wear this during the day, in the evening, any time of year. It's definitely my favorite Furler perfume so far. Yeah, it's so weird to describe vanilla as fresh, so it definitely feels unique and definitely worth a try if you like that sort of salty vanilla. We have 3 new perfumes from Anna Sui in their Sunday collection, which literally look like ice creams, you guys. This one is pretty pink. You can see the bottles are literally like ice cream sundaes. They really go all out on the bottles of Anna Sui. We have this apple on the top that's also this spray, not apple, sorry, cherry. I know in my video on these I said apple and everyone's commenting saying it's a cherry. Don't know why I see apple when I see that. Kind of like little Nina Ricci apple, isn't it? This pink one is fresh citrus orange, definitely one for orange fans. We then have mellow yellow, which is a very citrusy one. And then we have Violet Vibe, which is like a strawberry, creamy, reminds me a bit of Cloud. I think this one is my favorite. I do have my detailed video going through these in detail, you guys. Yeah, the purple one was much more deeper, intense, kind of a little bit more nighttime. But these are, of course, super fun. Like, I know a lot of people collect the Anna Sui bottles. These really stand out. I'm sure they'll stand out in the shop on the shelf. And these like giant packaging, like an ice cream box, is very unique. So I was going around Harrods this week and I smelt some other perfumes that are new releases. So I smelt the new Replica Under the Stars. This one really like took me back, I guess. It's a really strong perfume, really leathery and oud perfume, ambery, intense. I think it's meant to sort of recreate sort of Under the Stars, as in like the desert, maybe in the Middle East, cut with those notes. Really leathery, one of the strongest like designer leathery perfumes I've come across, actually. Really intense. I think this would be lovely on a man, and I know lots of ladies love their ouds and leathers as well. But yeah, really strong. I mean, this has been on this card for a while and it still is really strong on the card, and I think I even just sprayed 1 on it. And it says province and period Namibia. So I've not been to Namibia, I've been near Namibia, so that's in Africa, and they have a lot of desert. So just super leathery, guys. Imagine like an explorer wearing leather. I also smelt the new Creed Carina, which hasn't lasted that well on the card. I can still smell it a bit. So this one has all this pink branding and it's marketed as being very different to the other Creed fragrances. The women's fragrances from Creed tend to be quite flowery, musky. They're love in black, love in white. I do like their Virgin Island Water, the coconut one. At first, when it opens, you get a cherry and saffron. So you get some fruitiness, which we haven't really seen from Creed before. But as this develops, it becomes very oriental. We've got myrrh and frankincense with rose. So it's becoming, again, yeah, oriental, and it becomes like a musky frankincense with a bit of rose. It feels relatively unisex to me, even though it's very like pink packaging, but the cherry note is just there in the top and then it goes. So then it just becomes like another oriental rose, which I think we've seen before from a lot of brands. And the Creed perfumes are so expensive. expensive, and I don't really like the shape of the bottle, so I'm not sure about this one. I did also smell the new Chanel Chance Eau Fraiche Eau de Parfum. So we've had the Eau Fraiche of Chance in an Eau de Toilette for years, and they brought it out in an Eau de Parfum just like they did with Eau Tendre. It was very green to me when I smelt it. I tried it on the skin. It had some aldehydes in. It felt very unisex. It smelt green, slightly woody, outdoorsy in the way that Eau Fraiche Eau de Toilette does, but it didn't have the sort of lightness that Eau Fraiche does. It felt more outdoors, almost mossy, but I found on the skin, even though it's an Eau de Parfum, it didn't really last. It soon was faded and was a bit forgettable in my opinion. So if you like your green perfumes, if you like Chanel No. 19, which I don't know if they'll discontinue that. I know a lot of people do love it, so maybe they'll keep it. But it's more like Chanel No. 19 mixed with a bit of the original Chance Eau Fraiche. So yeah, it was okay. But yeah, guys, so that's all the new releases I've come across this month. Let me know what other ones you're excited about. I'm sure there'll be lots more coming out in next month. I do have detailed videos on all these perfumes, so do check them out if you want more information. And like I said, they'll all be linked down below as well with where you can get them in UK, Europe, all around the world. But that's it, guys. So thanks so much for watching. As always, do give the video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.